Hello everybody, hello, welcome to Star Citizen. In today's video I'm going to be showing you a guide on how to solo the new data centers that were added in patch 4.2, and you need to run these data centers to collect a Specimen cache keycard in order to take on the Valakar worm fight. So these are fairly important if you want to craft your Atlas IT keys and your IT key geos with the jump pack. So yeah, there is a way you can solo these data centers, and I'm going to show you that in today's video. First things first, let's go through the gear I'm taking with me. So here I am, I'm wearing a full Morozov armor set, which is heavy armor for the 40% damage reduction. Now, with armor sets, I would say it's purely down to preference. If you feel confident taking on NPCs, a lot of NPCs in medium or light armor, then go ahead and do that if you want to. But I would recommend for newer players and for people who aren't as confident in their FPS combat against the NPCs, I would say take heavy armor. Just give yourself that extra little bit of protection that you get from it. I'm also taking quite a big bag. It's a Pembroke RSI edition, which is just 180,000. Any of the Pembrokes have this capacity, so if you want to do a bit of looting, take a big backpack with you. My weapon is an FS9, which has a standard, if I can highlight it properly, my character will stop looking around. Stop moving. There we go. We have a 1x reflex, the Delta, and I'm also using a tweaker mod, which for some reason it's not letting me highlight today. Like, I can highlight it there, but it won't actually let me bring up the name of it. It's basically just a size 2 tweaker mod for the FS9, which gives it more stability and reduces the recoil, stuff like that. Just makes it a lot easier to aim, especially when you're sustaining fire. We are also taking 15 magazines of it. We've also got a few magazines on our chest as well, so we've probably got about 1,500 rounds of ammo. You probably won't need that much. I'd say at least 1,000 should be fine. And then I'm also taking 2 of these paramed refills, 6 med pen muzzles. I've also got 4 of the med pens attached to my leg. Actually, no, I don't, so we should probably do that now. Quickly attach those. I'm also taking a multi-tool with a mining beam, so with a salvage, nope, not a salvage, it's a tractor beam attachment, that's the one. We're taking multi-tool with tractor beam, and we're also taking the med pen, which is attached to my other leg here. That's pretty much everything. Med pens are very important. You can loot plenty of them whilst you're there, but I would definitely say take at least a few with you just in case. But you are going to need med pens for certain parts of this. Now, in order to get to these data centers, you need to go to Pyro IV, which is a smaller planet that orbits Pyro V. It's about a 40 GM jump away from Checkmate, which is where I'm currently based, so it's not that far. But what I will do as we set off is I will cut out the jump time so you don't have to sit around and watch me jump for 4 minutes. But yeah, you need to go to Pyro IV. There are 10 different data centers as well on Pyro IV, so you've got plenty of choice as to where to go. They do all have a very similar layout to each other. They're all pretty much exactly the same. But there are 10 different locations that you can do them, so it's not like with Hathor mining sites. There aren't just 4 different sites across 2 different areas in Stanton. You've actually got quite a few here, so there should be less competition with other players overall. But as with most events like this in Star Citizen, you will occasionally have PvP times where other players will want to contest the zone that you're trying to run, and you'll probably have to do some fighting. I will try and avoid that as much as possible in this video. I want to show you a guide of actually how to run the data center and not how to fight players, so hopefully we can find a data center that hasn't got people doing it already. Anyway, let's jump in the pilot seat and get to Pyro IV. Okay, so here we are above Pyro IV. I'm just waiting for my quantum drive to cool down so that I can jump the rest of the way to Data Center 3, which is the one I've picked we're going to go to. Okay, activate the jump. It's about 700 kilometers away, so we are going to have to jump around to the other side of the planet. Right, so as we make our way closer to the planet's surface and get ready to land, there are a couple of things we need to do. First of all, with each of these data centers, they will be surrounded by 4 anti-air turrets. Now, there's 2 different ways you can handle these turrets. You can either land far enough away, behind a hill, something like that, where you're protected, so that you don't have to worry too much about being attacked when you get there. Oh, actually, on second thought, there is a Polaris, which is a capital ship, and there looks to be another Star's attack just over there. So I'm not going to go to this data center because this is a risk. That Polaris means there could be players nearby, so let's go to number 2, which is just over here. Anyway, so yeah, as we approach the surface, there are going to be these anti-air turrets. There's 2 ways you can handle these. You can land quite far away or behind some cover, so that your ship doesn't get shot at by these anti-air turrets, especially when you're out of the ship attacking the facility. You don't want to be close to them so that your ship gets shot at, because when you are known as an enemy towards the data center, when you start attacking it, if your ship is close enough, the turrets will shoot at you even if you're landed. Or you can do what I'm going to do, which is I'm going to set my forward shields to 280. Yeah, we'll do 280. And we're going to go and kill each one of those turrets. I do have 4 attrition 4s attached to my pilot seat. Can't really see them. Let's see if I can bring up the guns. So yeah, 4 attrition 4s. And about 15 kilometers away, I am going to deactivate the quantum drive to give my shields enough time to recharge, because at the moment shields aren't recharging because we are in quantum mode. There you go, you can see my shield generator on there is powered off. There we go, it's about 12 kilometers, so it's not too much. Now, it does appear to be nighttime, but on initial inspection and scans, there don't seem to be any ships nearby. We're not getting any markers appearing on the screen, which is quite good. It means that there can't be any players nearby, but there could also be smaller stealth ships, which we won't be able to see until we get a bit closer. I do also want to play with my power a little bit and put maximum to guns so that we have as many shots available as possible. I think it's about 150, 170 roughly that we get for attrition 4s with max power. 157, that's not bad at all. There's our first AA turret there. There should be 4 of them. Although strangely enough I'm only getting indicators for 2, so it might be that 2 of them have already been destroyed. So if we're unlucky, other players might have run this already. So, oh no, there's a 3rd, and 4th one might be down there. Looks like it might have already been destroyed. Oh no, there's the 4th, right, okay. So let's get a bit lower. And as soon as we get green, start opening up, there we go. And some initial red markers from hitting it. Oh, they're just shooting back at us. There we go, that's the first one down. Our front shield didn't take too much damage, which is very good. Let's head over to the second one, do a quick scan to make sure that we're not about to hit the surface. And start firing. Second gun is firing at us now. It's a bit awkward with the amount of shield indicators we're getting on the front of our ship being shot at, but we should be okay. Another scan just to make sure I'm not about to crash. I am very well known within the org that I currently play with for crashing into random things, especially asteroids. I have a deep-seated hatred for random asteroids. There we go, there's the 3rd turret down, and the 4th one is just over here. Our shields seem to be holding, although it is dropping pretty rapidly, so let's get a move on. Oh, careful, going a bit too fast. Oh, okay, we nosed into the floor there, that was not good. Luckily enough, we didn't seem to take much damage from that. That was very silly. But that was successful enough. One thing I am struggling to pay attention to now is that gravity effects and atmosphere and stuff like that is quite heavy. Actually, appears to be quite a few store rolls around here. So these store rolls are self-storage containers, as you can see on the name there. They are containers that you can buy that are empty, that have capacities that you can fill up. I just want to do a bit of a loop around the area first, just to make sure there's no players. I can see a few guards walking around, but no actual players as of yet. Okay, let's land here. I think we're good. I think I accidentally just raised my landing gear, so let's put it back down again. Now, I am going to have a look at those store rolls, just in case they have any good loot in them, but I'm not going to waste my time too much with them. just in passing if we get close to them. Okay. When you land your ship, always turn your engines off, but leave your ship on, especially doing things like this, because with your ship still being turned on, your shields are still up. Another thing as well, make sure you reset your shields with this little refresh symbol here to give 100 to all 4. This will give you a little bit of a cushion if player ships do show up and start shooting at you. You might have a bit more time to get back to your ship before it gets blown up, but a lot of the time that won't be the case. Now there's one other thing, another bonus of this ship, one of the reasons why I bring it that I haven't done yet, which we shall do now before we head into the facility itself, which is to set our respawn point. The Starlance Attack, which is the ship I'm currently flying, has 2 medical beds, and you can set your respawn point to those medical beds so that if we get killed in the facility, we can just respawn here rather than one of the stations or another planet far away. So regeneration, let's just reset location and do it again. Transfer imprint. There we go. I believe it was a different Starlance Attack that I had that it was set to, so I don't want to risk any bugs, just in case. We do have our own store all as well, which I believe is stuck. Yeah, it is. I think it's glitched because it got trapped. We're just going to leave that. Let's just call it ship inventory for now. Okay, here we are at the data center. Let's close up our ship as well. It's another thing you should always do. Make sure you close all doors and hangars and everything to your ship when you get out of it and leave it on a surface, because other players could come up and steal it. One of the first things for the data center, it does have a freight elevator. You can use this to store things if the elevator is not bugged. Sometimes, because the game is in alpha, because it's early access and we're testing it, sometimes these freight elevators can be bugged, so sometimes they won't work. But if you're under attack and you've got a whole bunch of good stuff you want to save, if it does work, you can store stuff in the inventory here and then come back later to get it. Here is the facility itself. It does have several different buildings around the outside of it. It does also have medical beds within the facility, but you can't respawn at those beds. You can only heal yourself at them, so they're not massively important. It's one of the reasons I bring my TAC, is because of the beds that it has. Now, inside the facility, the main reason we're here is to gain something called a Specimen access card. In order to get this Specimen access card, we need to gain access to a data processing room in order to print the Specimen card. And in order to get access to the data processing room, we need to get a card to give us access to it, so a key card for the door into that room. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can get it. There's one easy way, and there's a few other more difficult ways. The easy way is to gain a card that lets you have access to the maintenance room in the warehouse underneath the facility. To get to that key, you have to come here. Oh, maybe not here. This is the infirmary that has the med beds in it. I'm on the wrong side of the facility. I really should have checked this before I did that, but oh well. Let's go to the other side of the facility and I will show you that one. There is a building very similar to that one, which is right next to another freight elevator on the other side of the facility, which has, it's called the crew quarters. You should be able to see it. Let's go this way. I think it might be on this side. But yeah, it's something called the crew quarters, which will have a desk in there, which will have a maintenance access card on the table. If no one else has run it recently, I've heard that the respawn time for these cards can be anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours. There are also going to be guards all over the place. There's quite a lot of guards. Some of them are like this guy, wearing light armor with a pistol. Some of them have heavy armor. Some have medium, so you need to be on your toes. It's one of the reasons I brought the FS9, is because of its high damage and high magazine capacity, is that it makes it very easy to take on NPCs. There's another one over there. Ouch. Ah, there's the landing pad. There is the freight elevator there with the ASD sign on it. And right next to that is the crew quarters. Sorry, the worker quarters. My bad. Workers quarter. Inside here we have an airlock. We just cycle the airlock from that screen right there. When the door opens, there is your desk. Ah, someone has been here recently. The maintenance access card is gone. That is awkward. I will show you the maintenance access room, but sadly I will not be able to get inside it. Let's make sure that the game actually recognizes the 15 magazines I have in my bag. Here we go, 1,336 rounds. I'm also going to do a quick magazine repool to make sure that all the magazines on my chest are stocked up so that we have quick reload. And that we don't have to faff around pulling magazines out of our bag. Did see another guard just over there, so I'm just going to take cover behind this machinery here. There we go. There he is, sweeping backwards. Headshots will kill 90% of the guards in these areas, so I wouldn't worry too much about combat. If you're good at hitting the heads, you can take them down pretty quickly. You can also loot them as well if you want to take their weapons and ammo. There will also be a variety of different loot boxes scattered around the whole place. Quite a lot of them actually. So if you're trying to farm up any of the service medals for Wicklow, you will have a higher chance of getting that stuff here. We did just take a tier 3 injury to our arm, which is very annoying this early on. That's not a player. It's not an NPC, that was just a laptop screen. Who is shooting us? Ah, there you are. He's running around in a circle. There we go, take you down. There was another guard in here I can see wandering around. Let's just quickly check this ammo box here. I'm going to try and run this as quickly as possible, so I won't stand around looting too much. So in order to get access to the maintenance area, you need to come to this part here, which is entrance 04. You walk into this room here. As soon as you walk in, you'll notice there's a window right there, which is the maintenance access room. You also find... Oh, that was a grenade. Someone is throwing grenades at us. Oh, must be you over there. Take you down. You'll also notice that you can find ship components here. You can see there's a heatsink right there. The majority of ship components that spawn at these access centers are grade C, but you can also be lucky and find a few grade Bs as well. So you can get some okay-ish components from these areas. I believe it's military and stealth. Quick check of loot boxes, see if we can find any ammo. Don't really need it, but just double check anyway. Right, anyway, so this window here, which I pointed out. Quickly topping up my health, making sure these guards aren't running the risk of killing us. So, this is the maintenance access room here. There's two reasons why you want to be inside this room. The first reason is that safe on the wall there. That safe will contain the data processing access card, which will allow you access to the data processing room to print the specimen key in order to run the worm fight. The other reason is that during the worm fight, or the area where the worm fight is located, the whole place is radioactive, and you will need a suit like that if you want to run it safely. You can do the worm fight without using a radiation suit. You just need to make sure that you're taking cover whenever your radiation is getting too high. Run inside a building and you'll be able to regenerate your suit's radiation protection. But these suits here have very, very high radiation protection, so if you're not confident at surviving the radiation, I'd recommend grabbing one of these. Now, you can buy them from Pyro stations. Checkmate, Ruin, and I believe Obituary will sell them. Maybe some other places as well. But you can buy these suits, or if you want a free one, you can find it on that. That's a dummy right there. You can take all the armor pieces off that. Sadly, I can't do that because we can't get access to the actual room itself. This is the key door, so if we manage to find that worker access, maintenance access key from the workers' quarters, we'd be able to put the key in there and go in that room. There are also some components and bits of loot in that room as well. But we're going to have to do it the hard way. The hard way is that there are 3 or 4 other areas in this facility which are like this. This one is called Storm Study. In order to get inside this room, we have to scan somebody. We have to find a scientist. You'll spot the scientists very easily, and you'll have to use that scientist to get scanned by the door in order to open it. There is a scientist right there, but he's running away. It's this room here that we're looking to get access to, although we shouldn't because that safe is already open. So we're going to have to find another one. Oh, that is very, very glitchy. I'm just going to knock that scientist out because we're going to need him unconscious but living. We'll go and find another one if we can. Hopefully this one won't have hopefully the safe will be open for this next one. Hopefully if the scientist will stop running away, we might be able to get him. There he is. Data analysis. Right. No, come here. Come here. Oh, that is extremely glitchy. You can really tell this game is in early access. Right, so we have our unconscious scientist. Let's pick him up with our tractor beam from our multi-tool. So here is another room. Data analysis. Lab coat required. There is a scan button right there. So in order to get this door open, there's two ways you can do it. You can kill one of these scientists, take their clothes off of them, and put the clothes on yourself to scan you. But that is very risky because obviously you're losing all of your armor. And obviously, again, with it being in early access and it being quite buggy, you might even lose some armor pieces. So it's a bit of a risk doing that. Or you can do it this way, which I'm not sure if this is a legitimate way of doing it, if this is intended or not, but it is definitely a way that you can do it. You find a scientist, you knock them out unconscious, tractor beam their body to right in front of the door. You then get a med pen in your hand, activate the scan on the door, and resurrect the scientist. So scan, right click him, that will resurrect him, he will stand up, the door scan should accept him, and then open. And here we are. This safe is closed, which is good, which means there is a data processing access card in there for us. In order to get into that safe, we need to find a code to input on that screen. And we have to come to this computer here. Every one of these rooms will have the same function. You'll have to find a code to enter to get the card out of the safe. And you need to find a screen that looks just like this. As you walk up to it, it'll say use. And then it will have a bunch of files, emails, something like that. Read through them. One of them will have the code in it. This one is 5799. Go up to the screen. Hold down F, 5799. Success. Open the safe, and there is our access card for the data processing part. There are also some loot boxes in these rooms. Just going to quickly double check. Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. And we've got a few repair bits and multi-tools in here, but I don't really need those. Oh, there is an armor box. Let's have a quick look. I always stop and check the armor boxes. Ooh, for exactly this reason here. Sometimes you can find some pretty cool stuff in these. There's a Sterling Exploration backpack as well, which is 180,000, the same capacity as the one I'm using. Right, now that we have our card, let's exit here. This door right here is one of the 3 doors that you can use this card on to open up to get into the data processing bit. You don't have to open all 3 doors, you only need to open one to get inside there, but this is one of them. And from what I've heard, there are 4 or 5 different areas in this facility where you can get those access cards, the maintenance level being one of them. That storm room with the giant holographic globe was another. This data analysis is a third. There is also a VIP kind of area as well that you can get into using another scientist. But I won't waste time going and checking those because it looks like players have already cleared this before. So we want to get into this doorway. One thing with keys is that, again, with it being an alpha, it can be quite buggy, so I always put my gun away. So I popped it onto my back and then go into my inventory and carry my key. Make sure that my character actually does the animation to have it in his hand. Yep, there you go, he's holding it. Walk up to the door, the keycard slot, and press insert, and it should just do it straight away. There we go, and then step back and get our gun back out. Now there could be guards inside here. Yep, there's one there, take him down, there's one right at the back. This is your data processing room. It's basically a server room which has a screen at the front here, which you need to activate to print the keycard. You are very glitchy. The guy has resurrected about 3 times, that's so strange. Okay, just making sure there aren't anybody else around. So, this is pretty much the final part, but this is the most difficult part as well. In order to get started with this, I'm just going to quickly double check some loot areas first. There is a brand new shotgun that was released in the recent patch called the Prism Shotgun. That is the Prism Shotgun right there. I'm actually going to equip it now just so you can see what it looks like. Ooh. There we go. There's the Prism Laser Shotgun. Ooh, what happened there? Oh, okay. Apparently it zipped back onto the locker. Let's try and pick that up again, shall we? Come on. We seem to be having a little bit of server lag, or a bit of desync. It's not letting me pick it up. So there is a brand new laser shotgun. It's that shotgun right there, but apparently the game doesn't want to let me have that one. It's annoying because this is a color scheme that I don't have currently. Equip it. Come on. No, come on. Equip. Pick up the gun, please. Oh. There we go. It's very glitchy, this. But if we just put it straight in our bag, there we go. And then with these gun racks as well, this one here is the Quartz SMG, so this is the smaller version of the laser SMG. There is a laser rifle as well, which we don't have here. You can also find ammo for them underneath, so we're going to equip a couple of these just so we've got some ammo for that shotgun. Actually just going to access our inventory. Let me stand up first. No, stand up, not lie down, stand up, you fool. There we go. Right, take a couple of these off just so we've got some ammo on it. Let's drag this shotgun onto my bag. There we are. Just because it's a new gun, we might as well pick it up and use it. There we go. Prism Shotgun. Never used this before, so I'm not exactly sure what's different about it to normal shotguns. There is also an armor box here. Let's open this and have a quick look. Anything good? Another one of the radiation suit helmets, but this one is the Alkaline edition. Some ADP arms, some Morozov backpack, Inquisitors, the Canary Yellow Mac Flex bag as well. So you can get quite lucky in these boxes and find some subscriber or some in-store purchased armor sets and stuff. So it's pretty good. I quite like looting them. We have a few bits of ammo, Uberev, Igniter pistol, some Scourge railgun ammo, which is quite expensive, so I'll grab that. Another PT3 holographic sight, which I will take. Right, enough looting. Let's get going, shall we? So, in order to print this keycard, just going to make sure the game recognizes that I've got all this ammo. Thank you. Really? Health and safety when I'm attacking your facility? That's what you're announcing right now, friend? Okay. Anyway, so, this lady, can you get out of the way? Whatever. Okay, so you need to touch this screen to start the printing process. So, click on the screen. You have another code to input. The screen for that code is always over here, so just to the left of it. Activate the screen. Here is the code at the bottom here on the first and only email, 31956. Back over to the screen, 31956.
Employee identification
Success.
accepted. Press to confirm.
Okay. Welcome, Dr. Jarrett. Please confirm your request for a new credentials card. Once you click the confirm button, the event will start, which is pretty much like a wave attack almost. Guards will spawn, all 3 doors in the area will open. So there's one over there, there's one there, and there's the one we walked through behind these servers here. So once we click confirm, all 3 of those doors will open and remain open, so you need to be careful. You will get attacked by waves of enemies, so click confirm. There you go, doors have opened. So, whilst the keycard is printing, the best place for you to stand is in this corner right here. So your 2 entrances are over there, you've got one over there, one there, and your third one is right there. Best place to stand is here for one main reason, and that main reason is that the pathing of NPCs in this game is not fantastic. When you're stood in this corner here, you have a very low risk of guards walking into this room, so you'll have to fight far less of them unless, say, if you were stood over in the corner there, if you're watching each of the doors. So you might only need to fight about 5 or 10 of them when you're standing here, whereas if you're stood somewhere else a bit closer to the doorway entrances, you'll probably have to fight a lot more of them, and it can get quite difficult. It can be quite overwhelming as well. The first time we ran this, we had about 6 people, and even then a couple of us still got downed because, yeah, there's a lot of guards. So staying in this corner here is probably the best way of doing it. Now, some bad news is that I can hear laser guns being fired. That sounds like my ship is being shot. So hopefully we can get this key before my ship gets destroyed. Nope, that was an explosion. That sounds like a ship is nearby, we could be having players on the way. So I'm going to quickly try and wrap this up before they get in here. The next thing you need to be aware of whilst you're waiting for this key to print is that at 50% the key will stop printing and you will have to walk up and activate this to continue. Yep, there's definitely a ship overhead. I can hear it coming into land. I don't know if we're going to be able to do this in time because there are players on their way. Hopefully the increased amount of guards will put them off. Will slow them down enough for me to get this card and get out. Okay, there is 50%. There is a continue button which does last for 3 minutes. So you've got 3 minutes to reactivate that key or reactivate that door and get back in the corner here. When you come out from this corner and go up to activate that button to continue it, some guards will start repathing and walking towards you, so you will have more guards come in and attack. Fortunately, I have been very lucky so far, and I haven't seen a single guard come in yet, but it is definitely possible. Lots of guards stood over there. I need to be really careful. Oh, I have another tier 3 injury. That's not great considering I think players are on the way. %. Come on, keycard. Come on. If I can get this and get out before they attack, I should be safe. %. 97. Key is almost finished. There we go. Lights have come back on. All 3 doors will close, so any NPCs outside those doors can't exactly get in. But one thing you need to be aware of when you approach this to pick up your key, there's a balcony there with guards, and there's a balcony up there. There's one down there, so there are a lot of guards stood around waiting. Your key will appear just below the screen. Press F to store it. You'll put it in your backpack. Oh. We are being shot at by lots and lots of guards. Let's open this door here. Right, now we need to try and get out of here stealthily. And we did hear a ship shooting and things being blown up. So there is a chance there are players around. Not players, but a heck of a lot of NPCs. Make our way back up here. Take some cover, heal, reload, and deal with them. Go, take all those guys down. Probably more. Oh. Do another quick reload just to make sure we've got full ammo. Ah, so that door there is an elevator where NPCs will spawn from. That's a set of stairs. I don't want to do that. This is the lobby. I don't want to go to the lobby. And these are the labs here, so let's go this way. Oh, hello, gents. Goodbye, gents. I'm leaving. Don't mind me. You guys can stand there and wait for the next lot of people to come in, because they're definitely on their way. That's the storm study. Ah, here we go. Another downstairs bit. Warehouse. Okay. Now we're going to go and find out whether or not those players killed my ship, which I think they did. Oh, that's not the way out. Where is the way out? outside. Oh, that's not a player. That was just an NPC. One thing that is worrying me is I'm not seeing a marker for my ship anymore. No, we're not. Right, so in order to get out from this point here, I am going to have to run far enough away from the station to which I can safe log. Safe logging is where you exit the game to menu so that you can load back into the game and it will put you back on a station rather than in the area where you've logged out. But if you're in combat, safe logging isn't possible for about 5 minutes, I don't think. Oh no, why do we have to reload then? Oh, and a grenade as well. Where's that guy gone? Pretty heavy armor wears. He had a shotgun. This is probably the hardest bit of this whole facility, is leaving at the end. We're just going to run around this corner here and try and get away. Pull out our med gun. Oh, let's do it over there. Yeah, okay, so our ship has been destroyed. Put our gun away. So yeah, we're going to have to get safe far enough away so that we're safe. We're going to have to stay out of combat for long enough for us to be able to bed log. Or, sorry, not bed log, safe log, which is exiting to menu. So if you open your menu, click exit to menu rather than quit game. That will safely log you out of the server itself, and then you can log back in and you'll spawn at a station nearby rather than in the same place, which is always useful. But it looks as though we managed to get away quite safely without the players finding us, so I'm going to just crouch down behind this rock here and we'll safe log very shortly. But yeah, so that is how you do the data centers and how you run them solo. That was in no way a perfect run. We obviously had players show up and destroy our ship. We also had some of the rooms and some of the keycards were already gone, so I couldn't show you everything, but that is essentially the way that you can solo these data centers. It's not that difficult. Like I said, the hardest part at the end is leaving, when there are a whole bunch of different guards in the area and you're trying to push out to get to your ship and they just keep coming in droves, so you need to be really careful when leaving at the end because you can get ambushed by quite a lot of them. But yeah, other than that, it's not that difficult of a process to do. And then we can take this card here, which is our Specimen cache access at the Lazarus complex, to do our worm fight, and in the next video I make, it will be one of my org running the worm fight and I'll be commentating over it, so I can show you or tell you roughly how to get the worm fight done. But yeah, that is everything for this one. Thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, I hope it's been informative, and I shall catch you in the next video. Bye everybody.